Say when. Okay, very good. All right, I'll be talking about Ingress NetStar and Gateway products and how we fare relative to the competition and how to sell these products aggressively against the competition. Essentially what you'll see in this presentation is the truth of the matter is, although we often experience Ingress guilt, the fact that we don't have all of the gateways available at this time, and we've been talking about them for some time, and all the access products out, relative to our competition, relative to what else is in the market, we're in much better shape. We are essentially competing with full functional products versus Sybase, which is offering a set of toolkits, and I'll talk about this, and Oracle, which is offering partially functional products. So relative to the competition, we are in a very strong position, and I think you'll see that throughout this presentation. So I'm going to talk first about the market requirement for access products, and you can verify this as you walk to various accounts what customers are asking you for. I will talk for a while about Ingress products, Ingress Star, and then Ingress Gateways, what our agenda is, what agenda you want to set when you walk into an account in the customer's minds, which will make the competition sell uphill against us. Then I'll go through each of our competitors, Oracle first, then Sybase, and a short bit of information on Informix. Bottom line, I've been in a fair number of accounts with, I'm not sure whether it's been with anyone in this room, but certainly out on a number of sales calls. And essentially, most customers are trying to solve a common problem. And the problem is unifying information within their organization. In most organizations, the MIS organization is chartered with the task of, within 3 to 5 years, coming up with a set of computers, networks, application software, databases, which will allow them to integrate information within their organization. And essentially, Oracle and Sybase and Informix and Ingress are calling on these same accounts, all with a story, essentially telling that MIS department or that company that they are able to provide access to distributed and multi-vendor information. So at a very high level, the first thing you experience in an account is that everyone in the customer's minds, we're not differentiated immediately. The customer's attitude generally will be, well, Informix is in here, and Oracle's in here, and Sybase is in here, and they're all telling me that they have a way to get to DB2 data, and they have a way to get to data located at multiple sites. So what's different about the Ingress solution? Well, the bottom line is, as we go through the Ingress solution, we are the only provider of full functional products on the market today that you can actually plug into your environment that provide immediate online access to information in other vendors' databases such as DB2 or in databases at multiple locations, for example through Ingress Star, through standard SQL. That simple statement, we provide products which you can install in your environment that provide immediate online access to data, is a differentiating statement. Because everyone else in the market is providing either toolkit technology where you have to build a server to provide that access, or partially functional products where you have to code applications to provide that access. Essentially, we provide three things: a full functional distributed database management system, and I'll tell you what I mean by a full functional distributed database management system. Our philosophy is to provide SQL access to all data. So whether it's relational data, non-relational data such as RMS or IMS, the Ingress solution is always to provide access through SQL. That is not true of all of our competition. And we offer that capability by the fact that we provide gateways that translate differences between Ingress and non-Ingress databases. We'll cover that. All right, let me talk about distributed database first. And I want you to keep this agenda in mind. This is not in your notebook now, but I would appreciate it if you write it down. Anytime that you go in an account and you talk about distributed database, you should set the following agenda in the customer's mind. What distributed databases are about is they're about making it easy to get to data throughout your organization. There are three things which distributed database management systems must do. They must make it easy to unify information within your organization. That is, extract information from different vendors' databases at different locations and provide it efficiently to the user. 1. 2, distributed database management systems must be able to distribute data and distribute updates. And the critical technology here we'll talk about is automatic two-phase commit. In other words, the distributed database management system has to be able to keep data at multiple sites consistent for you. And the third thing that distributed database management systems have to be able to do is make it easy to manage distributed data. Now the reason we set this agenda, it ends up, is because it's an agenda which makes our competitors sell uphill. And it's an honest agenda. This really is what distributed database management systems must provide, a simple encapsulation. To do data unification, to bring data from multiple sites together efficiently, the critical technology that has to be provided is a global optimizer. So keep that in mind. Data unification, global optimizer. To be able to distribute data, keep data at multiple sites consistent, the distributed database management system must provide automatic two-phase commit. And finally, to make it easy to manage distributed data, the distributed database management system must provide a global data dictionary and DBA tools that work with that global data dictionary. Now this is important because when you set that agenda, what you're doing is you're setting your competitors up for failure. Okay, let's talk about data unification. There are really three aspects to this. And remember, the thing that you want to emphasize with data unification is global optimization. But I'll cover the first two. First of all, we make it easy through our open SQL architecture to get to data which is located at multiple sites in different types of databases. Ingress Star, think of Ingress Star this way. Ingress Star locates data for you. Once you construct a distributed database, you essentially indicate to Star where data is located and what local databases. Subsequently, any application which sends SQL queries to the distributed database management system, it's up to Star to determine where that data is located. Star does the work for you of determining the location of data. That's how it provides location transparency. Secondly, Star works with our family of gateway products, which make all databases look like Ingress databases. Hence, by Star working with gateways, Star provides not only location transparency, but also database transparency. We, as you might have noticed on email, we recently ran a Access seminar both in Boston and in Santa Clara, where we actually demonstrated a Macintosh sending an SQL statement to Ingress Star, which then performed a distributed join between DB2 and Ingress and returned the data back to the Macintosh. That was through the GQL product, and presented the information in a pie chart form. So that product is in demo status today. We can actually demonstrate it. The thing you want to emphasize with with data unification is global optimization. What is global optimization? Dave Kellogg speaks quite a bit about optimization and its importance in database management systems. Optimization is all the more important in distributed database management systems because there are communication links involved. And in a network, the communication link, or the network, is the slowest point. It is the bottleneck in the entire system. What global optimization does, what Star does through its global optimization feature, is essentially it thinks before it acts. If you need to extract information from multiple locations, you send an SQL query to Star, and Star does the work of determining the quickest way to get the data back to you. And the way it does that is it maintains statistics about the relative distribution of data, how much data is at what sites. It looks at the query that you've sent it, and it constructs a number of plans of how it might go about getting the data. It selects the most efficient one, in other words, the one which will result in the least amount of movement of data across a network. And then it executes that plan. As an example, let's say you wanted to find out how many US citizens worked for GM Corporation, and it ends up that you work in personnel and you actually work in the Taiwan unit of GM, which makes some of the cheap ashtrays that go in the cars. Well, it ends up in Taiwan, there are only 10 US citizens working for GM Corporation. But back in Detroit, and maybe this is a few years out, there's on the order of 1 million people working for Detroit GM plant. Well, it's very important that the global optimizer knows to send